Hello everybody, I'm Jeff Mausbach and this is
Alejandro Sejanovich.
and we are the owners of TintoNegro. TintoNegro is a boutique little Malbec specialist based in Mendoza, Argentina. We hope everybody's staying safe in this very trying times, staying inside, sheltering in place, quarantine, make sure that you take care of yourself and your loved ones. We know it's very difficult for us to come and see you because of all the travel restrictions, so we thought we'd put together this little virtual tasting to give you an idea of what TintoNegro is all about. Okay? TintoNegro means black wine in Spanish, and this speaks to one of the quintessential characteristics of our signature varietal Malbec. It's deep, dark, blackish color. So what we're going to show you together with Alejandro is talk about how Malbec changes with altitude. Altitude is one of the most important characteristics of our terruño, of our growing conditions, and it has a drastic impact on all of our wines. Okay, can we get started?
Let's start.
All right, so the first wine is TintoNegro Mendoza, and this comes from Luján de Cuyo, and that's right around where we are. How high is that, Alejandro, Luján de Cuyo?
This is in meters, sorry, it's about 800 meters elevation.
Okay, so that's about 3,000 feet above sea level?
And the idea is of this wine is to show how easy can be a Malbec to drink for every day.
This elevation has kind of moderate temperatures,
Yes.
deep soils, so it makes just this nice, easygoing Malbec, right? Very easy to drink, soft, supple, great everyday wine. I like to call this wine Malbec 101. So even for an introductory level Malbec, it's quite delicious. We did just get some great press on this wine. This wine just got 90 points from James Suckling. So, I mean, just for an introductory little Malbec, not only a great price, I think it's usually around $6 wholesale. It's also got some great press behind. Okay, next wine is TintoNegro Uco Valley. So we're now going higher up into the mountains. How high is this one, Alejandro?
Uco Valley begins about 1,000 meters, which is 3,300 feet elevation.
Exactly.
And in Uco Valley we have also different soils. The soils have more sand, they are more shallow soils. And there is another kind of expression of the Malbec. In Uco Valley we will find more the floral freshness in the aromatics of the Malbec.
Yeah, I think this is great, cool climate Malbec. You know, this is our great introduction to Malbec. This is a great introduction to cool climate Malbec. Getting higher up into the mountains, that freshness, that floral, that herbal, really a nice, pretty Malbec. Also some great press on that. That wine just a couple of months ago, 2018 vintage, got 90 points from Wine Spectator, was named a smart buy, and I think just about a week ago was named Wine of the Week. So another wine with some good press, great price. It's only like $9 or $10 wholesale, so shows you a little bit about the cool climate aspect, no?
Yes.
Tell us about Cabernet Franc.
So, yes, always we
TintoNegro,
have
Cabernet
exception
Franc.
of the rule. In this case, it's the Cabernet Franc. Cabernet Franc is a variety that have an amazing expression in our soil, especially in the areas where we have a limestone. So this Cabernet Franc is coming from the Uco Valley also, and it's interesting also because it's a different approach of aromatics comparing to Malbec. It's more floral and more expression of limestone.
Yeah, this is planted on limestone at almost 4,000 feet elevation in Los Chicayes, so we're getting even higher up into the mountains, and that wonderful saline character that the limestone brings to the table. Do you find that in a lot of expressions of limestone?
Yes, always you find limestone in the vineyards. The wine shows this saltiness, these savory wines.
Excellent. Great press on that. I hate to be a broken record, but that's also 90 points from James Suckling. That just came out last week. Okay, so we had a Malbec from the Uco Valley. We had a Cabernet Franc from the Uco Valley. How about if we try a Malbec with Cabernet Franc from the Uco Valley? This is a wine that we call Limestone Block. And this is also from Los Chicayes, but it's not 100% Malbec, is it?
No, it have in the blend some of the Cabernet Franc is the same vineyard of this wine, and the idea is to show in this wine the importance of the soil, and especially the limestone in the soil. And this is why the blend have Cabernet Franc, because the Cabernet Franc is very expressive with the limestone.
Now, Cole, do you make this in a traditional way of most people making a blend?
These two varieties I ferment together. So they are co-fermented.
Co-fermentation, the idea of in the vineyard on the day of harvest, mixing these two varietals and having them ferment together. Very interesting way of making a blend, but we find that it gives a much more seamless integration into what each varietal is bringing to the table. A little risky, but worth it.
Yeah, it's not risky.
Not if you know what you're doing. Alejandro's been working with co-fermentation for over 20 years. Very much an expert in it. One of the few people that I know that can design a blend by just tasting the fruit. Excellent, excellent talent. Okay, let's go now to 4,500 feet elevation, Finca La Escuela, from the privileged, esteemed appellation of Paraje Altamira. So I'll tell you first what Finca La Escuela means. On this property, this is one of our vineyards. It's a small little 7-hectare property. And on this property, we have a 100-year-old one-room schoolhouse. That schoolhouse still functions as an anchor to the rural community. We make a lot of donations. We just donated another chunk of the vineyard so that they could create a daycare center. So it's a very integral part of the property. It seemed appropriate to call it Finca La Escuela, the school vineyard. Alejandro, what do you think is interesting about Altamira and especially this vineyard?
Well, this particular vineyard, Altamira, it is high elevation, which is about 4,500 feet elevation.
Yeah, right around that.
And the soils are very heterogeneous. You walk in the vineyard and the soil change. That makes that there is a change in the flavors of the fruit in every step we do. And then when we vinify, we have a complexity of these soils. And one of the things of the soils especially is that they are very rich in limestone also.
That's exactly what Finca Escuela is all about. It's that soil diversity for complexity and having that wonderful limestone character for that kind of salty, savory minerality. Go back to limestone, that just got 93 points from James Suckling, and our Finca La Escuela is 94 points from Robert Parker in its last rating. Okay, we're at the last wine now, and this wine is called Vineyard 1955. Why is that name, Colo?
Because this vineyard was planted in 1955. So here, what we want
Old
to
vine
show
Malbec.
is an old vine Malbec. This is coming from the district of La Consulta. It's close to Altamira. It have different soils. It have a little lower elevation, and but the most important is the age of the vineyard. Old vines, they have deep roots. They have competition between the plants, and they have big trunks. And this gives berries and clusters that they are smaller, small berries. A lot of concentration in the skins and a very little juice per cluster. That means that the wines gives a lot of concentration and expression of the place.
It takes us 2 to 3 plants just to make a bottle of wine. This is only a small 2-hectare property, so it's a very limited production wine, but it's what Alejandro was talking about, that deep, dark, rich concentration, but still very light on its feet, very elegant, great acidity, nice freshness. This is our old vine Malbec. That wine just got 96 points from Tim Atkin. So that's a little look at TintoNegro, our wines from different places throughout Mendoza. We hope everyone is staying safe and healthy, and we have a saying in Spanish, which is
Salud.
Salud. Not cheers, but health. Stay healthy, everyone. Thank you very much. Perfecto.
Excelente.
Ya estamos.
Ya estamos.